Ladies and gentlemen, everyone should have a whiteboard and their notebook on their desk. Okay? As soon as I ask you a question, what you're going to do is then going to respond on your whiteboards and then show me the answer. So I can say, good, excellent. Alex, it works better if you put your phone away.
All right.
Yeah, you know how the one you keep trying to text on? That would be better if you put it away. What is it, Max?
Judaism.
Perfect. What's my second oldest religion in the world? Second oldest religion in the world. Good, good. What do we got? Ellis. Hinduism. On your whiteboard, please. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the rigid social structure that is found in Hinduism that is used to organize every single aspect of Hinduism? It is also going to be how they kind of unify their culture. Good. What is it? Abby? Caste system. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when a group of people are kicked out of their homeland? What is it called when a group of people are kicked out of their homeland? Good. I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Katie, what is it? Diaspora. On your whiteboard, please tell me, show me the symbol of Buddhism.
What?
Buddhism. We didn't get to Buddhism? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I recorded a lecture yesterday and I got all the way to polytheism, so I would go back and check out my lecture that I posted yesterday, yes? Because those are important aspects that you need to know. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is, yeah, you are behind. That's okay. That's okay. You need to go back and catch up on those notes, yes? Okay, because I got to kind of keep going forward. So what you're going to do is skip like half a page in your notes and you're going to write week 2. Or skip to the next clean page, that's totally fine, and write week 2 at the top. You need to go back and check my lecture from yesterday. You guys are behind, but I got to move on to 2. All right, so this is week 2. At the top of your notes, every week you always write the week so you can go back and figure out what you need. Here we go. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, you're officially in content. Everything I say going forward will be, could be, might be, who knows, will be on your AP exam going forward. Last week, all that information is not directly on your exam, but if you don't know it, it's going to be hard to build off of it, which is why everything is really hard. Okay, so we are now going into China. So right, East Asia, that is the region we're heading to first. So your first major heading underneath week 2 is East Asia. You need to know that the Song dynasty is in power. Okay? Okay, the Song dynasty is in power. The Song dynasty is in power and they implement a bureaucracy. Now we already know what a bureaucracy is. Who can tell me what a bureaucracy is? Come on, what do you got for me? Amelia?
All the people that work for the government?
Yes, it's all the people who work for the government. So the Song dynasty is going to be implementing a bureaucracy. They are also going to be dealing with the Silk Road trade. This is all happening at the same time. Okay, so Song China is going to be the most prosperous location in the world. Who can raise their hand and tell me 2 major items they are selling to the rest of the world at a huge profit? What do you got, Abby?
Is it silk and porcelain?
Silk and porcelain are the 2 major items that are coming out of Song China. They are making money in exchange. So Europeans are buying, and the Middle Eastern and Arabs are buying silk and porcelain in exchange for what? What is the one item Song China is accepting, Ryan?
Gold.
Gold. Long term, Ryan, what's the better deal?
The gold.
The gold, absolutely. Gold doesn't lose its value, it retains its value. Silk loses its value, and obviously porcelain breaks, so that's a crap deal. Okay, so you need to know that. Of course, all the things that are happening in Song China, when we have a bureaucracy, we know China is a meritocracy, right? They use the civil service exam. These things that we talked about last week are in full bloom here in Song China. You're also going to see that the meritocracy, yes, we have all of that going on. Perfect. So, major inventions by the song. Okay? You need to know the Grand Canal. Okay? The Grand Canal is going to connect north to south in China. You need to know the directions. They're going to connect North and South China. Now, does anyone know why they went north and south and not east and west? What do you think already exists in China going east and west? What do you got?
Silk Road.
No. Silk Road is not like a real road. It's just like a generic term for lots of roads. They have rivers, ladies and gentlemen, in China that go east to west. So to connect those rivers, they built the Grand Canal, which goes north and south. That's a big deal. So it's going to facilitate faster trade. So there are two things you need to know going forward. You need to know the term inter and intra. Inter and intra. Okay, I'm going to write it up here because I can't get to my board. That's a whole other issue. Inter and intra. Okay, these terms we're going to use all the time. Inter means what? Okay, what do you got?
Like outside.
Outside, yeah. Between countries, regions, okay, those types of things. Like when you go, if I'm flying to France, what part of the airport am I going to? International. See, that's how I remember it. Think about it. Intra. So if this is inter is between countries and regions. Intra is what, Benjamin?
Within the same country.
Yes, it's within the same. Within the same boundaries. Okay, so you need to know these terms because we're going to use them all the time. So, the Grand Canal is going to facilitate what type of trade? Intra-trade. Do we see how we got there? Yes? Because it's going to connect north and south, which wasn't connected by water. Why do they want to trade on water? Why are they making a canal to connect? Why? Alexi, why? It's what? Yeah, it's easier to move goods. Would you rather carry 100 pounds on your back, or would you rather, sail down a river with 1,000 pounds? 1,000 pounds. You're going to make more money with the more items you move. That's why they're doing the river. That's why they build the Grand Canal. Okay? It's the connection of north and south for intra-trade. It's an increase in intra-trade in China, which is going to cause a huge boom. They are also the founders of steel and iron. Now, it is done well before the song, but we're just going to give them credit because the song is the first dynasty in China that we study in modern. It is not the first dynasty, but it is the first one we study. So they're going to do steel and iron. Ladies and gentlemen, why do we care? It allows us to start farming better and tilling soil. So prior to steel, they used bronze. Bronze is super soft. So if you hit a rock, the hammer would break. Not very effective. However, having steel and iron, you could till really rocky soil. For the first time, we have more arable land. Okay? So it allows us to farm more land for the first time, which is a big deal. Champa rice, you need to put a big circle around this one. Okay, Champa rice is coming from Vietnam, and you absolutely need to know that. Champa rice is coming from Vietnam. It has 2 crips a year. C-R-I-P-S, crips. It has 2 crips a year. Who can raise their hand and tell me what crips is? You can use your deductive reasoning at this point. What's a crip? Guys, come on. What's a crip? Victoria?
Not like a down that looks the form of a cappuccino.
No. What's a crip, Alex?
Harvest season.
Yeah, it's a harvest. That's what we call rice harvest. Harvest is typically like when you say harvest, you're talking about like wheat and fruits and vegetables. When you do a rice, it's called a crip. Okay, who knew how much farming information you're going to learn in here? Wow. All right, so Champa rice. It has 2 crips a year or 2 harvests a year. If you didn't know that, I would make a note. Okay, it is going to cause a what? The more food you have, the more people. So the population is going We're going to see this over and over and over again. More food, more people. More food, more people. Less food. Yeah, we're going to starve them and we're going to kill a bunch of them. Okay? So, more food, more people. So, this is going to cause a huge population boom in China, which is both good thing and bad thing, which we'll come across here in a few minutes. Okay, so with the champa rice, we now need more people farming or less people farming?
More.
Less people are farming, so we now have more artisans, which is going to lead to new luxury items. Do we see how these things are kind of connected? This is a little jumbled because the song don't do everything, but welcome to modern history. It's not organized well. Okay, that's how I personally feel, but here we are. That's the first week of real content. It'll get easier as we go. Okay, so you do need to know that. All right. So, got it. Okay, so you do need to know the most popular religions in China during the Song Dynasty are Confucianism, Buddhism, and Neo-Confucianism. Okay, so Confucianism is going to be all about filial piety. It is right here, F-I-L-I-A-L, filial piety, P-I-E-T-Y. F-I-L-I-A-L. Piety, P-I-E-T-Y. Does anyone know what it is? You should. It's on your vocab, so some of you may have gone through. What do you got?
Isn't it like where the women,
No, it has nothing to do with women. What do we got? Yeah, shocking. Can you believe I just said that? Wow. Great, what do you got?
Like the man is the house, like the leader of the house, and he gets to make all this.
Sort of, yes, you're correct. That is an outcome of it, but simplify it. What is filial piety? What do you got?
it's basically respecting for like the older people.
It's your ancestors. It's a respect for your ancestors. And if you respect your ancestors, the person in charge of the family is the oldest male. Yes? Okay? That's how that whole thing works. Now, in regards, is there any women who are being highly respected? No, of course. But filial piety is the respect for your ancestors, that the guidance of your ancestors, that they're still around. Okay? And it transcends into the leader of the family is the oldest male. Okay? So your if you have your great-grandfather alive, he would be the leader of your whole family. He would make all the decisions. When he passes, then it goes to your grandfather. And when your grandfather passes, it goes to your father. And then when he passes, it goes to the oldest son. Okay, so that's how filial piety works. It is the foundation of China today. Okay, it is in Mulan. Yeah, have we seen Mulan? Classic Disney movie. Okay, you know how at the very beginning of the movie, she's praying to her ancestors? Yes. When she goes to the matchmaker, she has a big day that day. So she goes and lights the incense and prays to him and says, give me, I can't remember the stupid song. It's a great song. It's not a stupid song, but I can't remember the song. And she prays to them and asks for their guidance and asks for their help. That's filial piety. Why is she going to the matchmaker? Because her father commands it. Why is she doing all these things? Because she has to honor her ancestors. Yes? It's all about that. All right, so Confucianism is filial piety, okay? Huge cultural foundation of China, okay? You need to know that Confucianism becomes the culture of China, okay? And Buddhism becomes its religion. So, most people are both, which is how we get Neo-Confucianism. Okay, so Buddhism is coming from Siddhartha Gautama. Okay, he is going to be Buddha. He's going to sit under a tree for like 59 days or 69 days or something like that, and he becomes the enlightened one. Okay, it's all about it's all about connection to nature and all that stuff. Okay, and then we have the blending of the two of them, which becomes Neo-Confucianism. What is it called when you have a religion that gets blended with another religion or another culture? What is that fancy term, Max?
Is it synchronage?
Syncretism, yes, syncretism. We're going to talk about syncretism all the time. And guess what AP loves? Syncretism, yes. Anytime we have syncretism, it's probably going to be on the AP exam. because they love it. Syncretism is when you blend two religions or religions and culture. Okay? Like for instance, here in Tampa, we have a church that is an African church here in Tampa. Okay? So in the front of the church, there's a black Jesus. Yes, and it has all of these like tribal things around him, and that's how it is. That's syncretism. Now keep in mind, if your image of Jesus is a white dude on like a cross, you know you're wrong, right? Jesus is from the Middle East, and people from the Middle East have what skin tone? Yeah, he's brown. Jesus is brown. So if your idea of Jesus is this glowing white man on the front of a church or something, your vision is wrong. Or you're as wrong as that black African or the Vietnamese church in town that also has a Vietnamese Jesus in the front, which is pretty cool. Okay? So if you think your Jesus is white, then you're as right or as wrong as everyone else because Jesus is brown. Because people from the Middle East are. There you go. Don't tell my mother. She fights with me every time, and she hates that I point this out to children. Jesus is white. Jesus is white. Mom, why the hell is Jesus white? She can't get it. We'll talk about my mom many times this year. Yes, Benjamin.
Is Zen Buddhism the result of both, or Neo-Confucianism?
Neo-Confucianism is the Taoism. When Buddhism mixed with Taoism, then comes Zen Buddhism. Yes, sir.
So with syncretism, can it be more than two religions?
It's typically two. We keep it kind of simple, stupid.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, you just need to know the two major. Of course, things are more complicated, of course. Like, for instance, that African church that I'm referring to here in Tampa, which really does exist, that has a really cool black Jesus and a beautiful altar with, like, really big African themes to it, also has some Islamic architecture to it. Why? Because Islam is going to spread through Africa really, really quickly. And so with all of that, that's going to blend into the cultural ideals, which is what is going to be blended into the pictures, into the imagery that is going to be included. So I just need you to know two. Now, in most cases, is it more than just two? Of course. But if you can believe it, I'm going to keep it simple on two. Yes, sir? Yes, ma'am.
So is this Tao, like in the book, I think it said Taoism?
Tao and Tao are very similar, so it's kind of, for our sake, it's interchangeable. Tao and Taoism are, for our sake, interchangeable. But if you talk to a Taoist, they're definitely not Taoist. And Taoists are definitely not Taoist. But for us, it's fine. All right. Perfect. So, a couple things you need to know. Social aspects of the song. Okay, the social aspects of the song is they are going to implement foot binding. The song are the first ones to do it, and it's going to be kept through. And there's, I think, a couple people in China today who still have their foot bound. What is foot binding? You may have seen pictures of it. You probably know a little bit about it or heard about it. What is it, Isabel?
They like tape up their foot. So
Girl, I wish they taped up their foot. Because sometimes I tape up my foot too, you know what I mean? But no, this is not the same thing. What is it? Ellis?
They would wrap it really tightly so their foot couldn't grow.
Ladies and gentlemen, they break their feet when they're like 6 months old. They break their feet in order to keep their feet 3.5 inches. Okay, so before you say ew, why do they do it? Why do the women do this? Okay, why? Amelia?
To show that they were like inferior.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, before you say ew, why would they do that? There's women here in the United States who get breast implants. Ew, why would you inject like plastic into your flesh and like get too heavy you fall over? Like, why the hell would you do that? Macy?
It's like a beauty standard.
Yes. It's beauty standard. And why do women care about beauty standards? Because to please men, because ladies and gentlemen, what is the only economic opportunity we have? No, birth is not it. Marriage. The more advantageous your marriage is, the better your life is. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have teeny tiny little feet because you broke them and your mama broke them for you when you were 6 months old, you're going to have a better marriage. Because if you have a wife who can't walk, can't do anything, can't clean after herself, can't go to the bathroom by herself because she can't walk there. Okay? That means the husband has lots and lots of, well, yes, control, for sure. That's patriarchy to a T. But ladies and gentlemen, if you can have a wife that just sits on the couch all day and lounge, that means the man has lots and lots of money, people. Money. Hi. I'm back at work. I had a kid last year, and now I'm back at work. So, I came back for 2 reasons. One, oh my God, my brain was melting. I can only read, Hungry, Hungry Caterpillar so many damn times. Don't worry, I'm still reading it twice a day, just not 5 times a day. And I was also only talking about the ABCs, the colors, and the shapes. But if you have a shapes question, I got it. I'm down on my shapes. Still working on the numbers. It's fine. Okay? I'm back at work because my brain was melting. The other reason I'm back at work is because money. Yes, my family needs money. Okay? So, if my husband could have me just lounging on the couch and nannies and nurses taking care of all the children, a cook in the kitchen, maids clean the whole house, he has lots and lots of money. It's a social status component for both women and men. It's incredibly patriarchal, can we agree? It's one of the most oppressive examples of women we will see throughout the whole course of the year. Because it's fine, it can't hurt you. It's just looking for a home. Okay, it's just confused. Okay, it is going to be one of the worst examples of patriarchy we see because, ladies, your literal whole life is over the moment they break your foot because you can't do anything. You can't walk, you can't move, you can't bathe yourself, you can't do anything. You're completely dependent on other people. It literally takes away your ability to function. And the whole reason why we do it is for, well, not we, but the reason why they do it is for an advantageous marriage to give stability to the family. Victoria? There's a couple women in China who have their feet broken. You can go online and totally Google it. And wow, wait for the x-ray photos. Crazy. But no, it's not as popular anymore. It's a sex fetish. Men like to put the little teeny tiny feet in their mouth. It was like a sex fetish kind of thing to it. Yes, it's obviously a beauty thing, but there's also some like sexual deviation kind of part to it. It's a whole thing. Guys, before you start judging the Asian cultures, let's look at our own culture. We have our own problems. Can we agree? So let's be less judgy here. But that's going to be one of the most oppressive of the patriarchal things we study, and that's foot binding, and it started by the song.
Wait, is it still like legal to do that?
It's just not in fashion anymore. I mean, there's some like old people who have it done, and there's some people who like bound their feet but don't break their feet and stuff like that. Like it's kind of like, it's now like kind of just like a sex fetish kind of thing. Like they're not breaking their feet like they used to, but like bounding them and stuff like that. So it's just kind of, it's still permeating the Chinese culture, but it's not what it used to be, for sure. All right. We also have a scholar gentry, which you need to know this term because it's going to be embedded in China during the Song Dynasty. This is what we call, the scholar gentry is what we call the educated leaders of China and the bureaucrats. These are the ones who are the ones who go to school and become highly educated. They are also directly influencing the emperor. So this is the highest level you can get in Chinese society is the scholar gentry. And they are going to be educated in Confucianism, and you need to know that. They are educated in Confucianism. That is their educational system. And today in China, they are using what system? Confucianism. Today in America, we use what? Liberal arts. Yes, you've heard that? Yes, you learn math, science, and all that whole foundation that they all work together in order to create a better mind. Yes? You've heard that crap your whole life? Yes? Okay, the more well-rounded you are, the better. They believe in the Confucian foundation. All right. Perfect. You do need to know a tributary system. It's also one of your vocab terms for this week. A tributary system is going to be a generic term. It also applies to the song. The tributary system is when they conquer land, those people have to pay a tax to the conquerors. So, if we, the United States, conquer China and create a tributary system, every month China has to give us money. Okay? So if we conquer Canada tomorrow, Okay, and we're like, hey, Canada, you owe us money, or we're going to take away all of your autonomy. You can do you. You can run your government any way you want. You just owe us this much money every month. If you don't pay it, then we're going to completely conquer and take over every aspect, and life's going to be really hard for you. That's what a tributary system is. You're going to see them in every single continent. All right. We are done with Song China. To the boards. Let's go. We're going to move to Japan here in a second. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the name of the crop that is going to cause a direct population boom? What is the name of the crop of Song China that is going to create a population boom? Good. What do we got? Janelle? Champa rice. Champa rice is from what modern day country?
Vietnam.
That's a whiteboard question, Max. Hence why, we're doing whiteboards, dude. What is it, Max? Vietnam. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the name of, what do we call when we are honoring our ancestors? I believe our ancestors have a heavy influence on our lives today. And that will have the men, the oldest men of the family, be the leader of the family. What do we call it? Rory. There you go. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what do we call the blending of Confucianism and Buddhism? This will be the most popular religion in Song China, or it's a kind of a cultural and religious blend. It's a little bit of a hybrid. What do you got, Elise? Neo-Confucianism. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the name of the infrastructure that will facilitate more trade in China? Good. Brady? Grand Canal. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what will facilitate better farming? It originates in China, eventually spread to the rest of the world. Okay, it will facilitate more farming, which will create a population boom. And it's because this will allow farming of rockier, less arable soil. What do we got? Dawson? Iron and steel. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when you have a bunch of people hired by the government to help the government run faster and more effective? What is it called when you hire a bunch of people to work in the government to make the government more effective? What do we got, Tula? A bureaucracy. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is... in China, they have their bureaucracy. In order to become a part of the bureaucracy, you have to take what? Good. You have to take what, Ryan? Civil service exam. There you go. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is... the two major goods coming out of China that is going to make Song China the most profitable place in the world? Good. There's two items. Good. And what are those two items, Stephen? There you go. Silk and porcelain. Perfect. Cool. All right, let's do it. Do we like the boards? Yes, they're very helpful, right? Allows you to kind of see what you do know and what you don't know. Okay, here we go. Japan is your next subheading. We're still in East Asia, but Japan is where we are jaunting up to next. Okay, so in Japan, you need to know the traditional religion is Shintoism. The traditional religion is Shintoism. Okay, however, because of trade, Buddhism and Confucianism is going to come to the shores. So Shintoism is the traditional religion of Japan. However, because of trade, Buddhism and Confucianism is going to come. So, unlike China, it is not going to be state-sponsored. You need to know that the Chinese embrace Confucianism. The Japanese are not going to embrace it, but it's the most popular religion. So that's a huge difference. So Japan and China both love Buddhism and Confucianism, but Japan does not make it state-sponsored, which means they're not pushing it. Just a lot of people in the country love it. Does that make sense? In China, all of your civil service exam is based on Confucianism. To become a part of the bureaucracy, you have to know your Confucianism. If you're a boy and you go to school, you learn about Confucianism. That's state-sponsored versus Japan. People are just doing it. Okay, Korea. Korea. We're going to jump to. Korea is going to be the most influenced by China. Mostly because they conquer it under the Tang, but that's here and there. Okay? Korea is super influenced by China. They got them.
Is this your subheading?
No, I mean, it's all under East Asia. So I would write Korea and maybe like underline it or circle it or something. They're going to be the most, they're going to be the closest to China, and they do state-sponsored Neo-Confucianism. That means that the government is supporting this. The government is requiring Confucian education. The government is providing male students Confucian education. That's what we mean by state-sponsored. Alright, and okay. And finally, the Vietnamese are going to reject pretty much everything. Okay, the Vietnamese don't want anything to do, they want to keep their own culture. Okay, so at the end of the day. So ladies and gentlemen, what part of East Asia is the most unique? Vietnam, because they're going to be rejecting everything else. Does that make sense? China is going to be the huge influence in it. Okay. However, at this stage, the 1200, the most unique or trying to protect themselves is going to be Vietnam. Yes? You see how that's important? You see why AP would like that? Yes? Okay. Cool, cool, cool. All right. I just finished your first section. Yes! Isn't that wonderful? Woo! Perfect. All right. Skip a space. Let's go to Dar al-Islam. We're still in week 2, of course. Yes, Dar al-Islam is where we jump to next. Ladies and gentlemen, who can tell me what religion is Dar al-Islam? Benjamin.
Islam.
Oh my gosh, we figured it out. Yeah. So, what region are we going to be in, Rory? What region? Islam is not a region, that's a religion. What region, Dawson? Middle East. So here we go. Okay. So, just so you know, Muhammad is going to speak to God, okay, in 620.
What's the region?
We're in the Middle East, man. It's Islam. Still today, where's the most Islamic people?
The Middle East.
There you go. See, I use frame of reference for most of the things going on. With a little bit of logic, you can kind of hash things out. So, ladies and gentlemen, Muhammad speaks to God for the first time in 620. You should know that. Okay? Muhammad speaks to God in 620. Okay? And then he becomes the prophet of Islam. He becomes the prophet of Islam. Do I need to pick your head up, girl? I'm not up here for fun. Come on, man. What do you got?
Is it 620 BCE?
No, 620 AD. Oh. Because Jesus comes first, then Muhammad. Okay, so Muhammad speaks to God. God tells him he is the prophet. So he goes and starts talking about this Islamic God. I'm just giving you a rundown on Islam, okay? So I'll tell you what you absolutely need to know. You need to know in 620 he speaks to Allah. Okay, Allah is the God, in case you don't know that. A-L-L-A-H. Allah, you need to have that. If you don't have it, have it. Okay, 620. Muhammad speaks to Allah. Allah tells him he's the prophet. Muhammad goes out and starts trying to turn Mecca into an Islamic place. So just listen. You don't need to write this down. He goes out and tries to turn Mecca Islamic. But Mecca at this point is what religion?
Judaism.
No, they're Zoroastrian. Zoroastrian. So the people there are making money off Zoroastrianism. So what do they say to Muhammad? No, 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 hell no, go away. So they banish Muhammad from Mecca, and he goes live in third one is the holiest city in the world.
Jerusalem.
Yes, those are the three holy cities in that order. Mecca's number 1, Medina's number 2, third is Jerusalem. Okay. He gets banished to Medina and he lives there for about 15 years. And while he's living in Medina, he comes up with all of the Quran, he comes up with his law codes that from God, of course, not Muhammad making these decisions. God tells him and Muhammad tells the people all of his law codes, all of the basic necessities of life and how to live a good Muslim life. Then he turns around and Allah commands him to take back Mecca. So with his military force, he goes and takes back Mecca. They conquer it, they take it. That's how Islam takes over Mecca. And from that moment on, Mecca has always been controlled by the Muslims. Okay? So, if you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, Jesus was never told to go kill people, you're right. You are absolutely right. Jesus never killed anyone, in far as we can tell in our records, for sure. Jesus is like a weird prophet. He is like the only one that doesn't go around killing people and stuff like that, or telling people to kill on his behalf. Jesus is very unique on that, and that's part of the really impressive component of Jesus. Whether you're a Christian or not, Jesus was a real person, and his magnanimous personality made him very attractive to lots and lots of people. He had huge amounts of followers in his life. Jesus was real. We have plenty of documents about the pissed off Romans writing about this Jesus of Nazareth guy causing trouble. Okay, he was a real person and people loved him and followed him, and by all accounts was a great guy. Annoying for the Romans, but really great guy. Very strange. All of your other leaders of religions had some sort of problems here and there. Muhammad is a flawed person. Muhammad didn't speak to Allah until he was like 37. So your boy lived a life, okay? Your boy had a life beforehand. And yes, Allah told him to go ahead and take over a city which caused death and all of these things. And they used to steal from caravans traveling. That's how they used to eat while they were living in Medina and stuff like that. So if you're like, oh my God, Jesus was wonderful and perfect and Allah, what a guy, how awful. First and foremost, more people have been killed in the name of Jesus and the Christian God than in the Muslim faith. So keep that in context, yes? So if you want to stand on your little high horse that Jesus was wonderful, he was. Allah has Muhammad has a little bit of flaws, but at the end of the day, the Christians have killed way more in the name of God than anyone else. So don't stand too high on your soapbox there, okay? So yes, there's people who don't kind of like the origin story of Islam and use it to kind of hold it against Islam. Islam is on its own a very peaceful religion. Well, how can you say that, Ms. Bennett, when they go ahead and sack a whole city? If God came from the sky and told you to do something, are you going to do it? Yeah. If whatever God you pray to or gods or, if you worship the fish in your house, I don't know, but it commanded you to do something, you're probably going to do it too. So give the guy a break. Here we are. Okay? So gets kicked out of Mecca, goes to Medina, lives in Medina for about 15 years. They get their warriors, they get their followers, they go back to Mecca, take Mecca, and that is the center of Islamic religion today. There we go. While Muhammad was alive, you do need to know this, Islam was very small. While Muhammad was alive, it was very small. Now, I'm still saying like 50, 100,000, 400,000 people. That's still really large. It's larger than the religion I started. You know what I mean? But it's not huge. It's after his death does it expand significantly. Same thing with Jesus, because remember, okay, Jesus is not the founder of Christianity. He is not. Paul of Zars is the founder of Christianity. Jesus was born a
Jew.
And dies a
Jew.
Yes, it's Paul of Zars. He's like, oh my God, I can make some money off this guy. Let's do it. And goes around, traumatizing the whole thing. Oh, sorry. Just kidding. He would never do that. Okay. So, Dar al-Islam, okay, is going to be the starting of the expansion of Islam. Okay, so Dar al-Islam is the expansion of Islam. So you need to understand the Muhammad stuff, okay, because he dies in 670 AD? I think it's 670. He gets killed. he gets killed. And he knows he's going to die because Allah told him he was going to be killed. So he knows he's going to be killed. Very much like Jesus, by the way. Jesus knew he was going to die too. And spoke to his followers for the last time and gave all these things. By the way, that's your primary source this week. Is we're going to read the last speech by Muhammad. So, Dar al-Islam is the beginning of the expansion of Islam. It's going to start with the Mamluks. Okay? So, no, I'm just kidding. That was a lie. That was a lie, but I'll come back to the Mamluks. You need to know the Abbasid Caliphate is the first of the Muslim empires. You need to know the first Muslim empire. So, okay, I keep making references to Christianity because, unfortunately, most of us are more comfortable with Christianity than any other religion. So please, if you are another faith or religion, I'm so sorry. Okay, bye. Abbasid Caliphate is your first empire of Islam. What do you got?
How do you spell the second?
The what? Caliphate. It's right there. All right, we'll pick up there tomorrow. Guys, I would absolutely go back to my lecture from yesterday and check out your religions. They're there. See ya.